The feeling we think we know. Why what most of us call empathy is actually something else, and why the difference changes everything. In our last conversation, we named the habit that silently breaks relationships, pseudo-listening, being physically present while mentally absent. We closed with a question: is empathy something you are born with or something you build? This first part begins the answer. Have you ever told someone you were fine and felt quite disappointed that they believed you? That small stinging disappointment, that moment where you wanted someone to look past the words and see the person saying them, is the gap between sympathy and empathy. And most of us have been living on the wrong side of that gap our entire lives without knowing it. Brené Brown, whose research on human connection at the University of Houston has shaped how an entire generation understands relationships, draws a distinction that sounds simple but is actually life-changing. Sympathy, she says, is feeling for someone, looking at their pain from a distance and offering comfort from above. Empathy is feeling with someone, climbing down into the same dark space and saying, I see you here. You are not alone. The philosopher and psychotherapist Carl Rogers went even further. He described genuine empathy as the act of entering another person's private perceptual world, not as a visitor who tours it briefly, but as someone who briefly becomes a resident. You see through their eyes, not just at them. You feel the weight they are carrying, not just observe that they are carrying it. This distinction matters enormously in Moroccan daily life, where a rich culture of community and presence often coexist, paradoxically with deeply rooted habits that block real empathy. How many times have you shared something painful and heard أخي صبر كل واحد عنده اللي مكتب له ولا مشكلته. Just be patient. Everyone has their problems. The words are kind, the intention is warm, but what the other person actually receives is a signal that their specific pain is not quite serious enough to be simply witnessed. It is redirect before it is received. And today, this gap is widening because we have added an entirely new layer. On top of our existing habits, social media has given us the architecture of empathy without the substance, a crying emoji under a painful post, a heart react on a moment of grief, a thinking of you, sorry reply. These gestures cost nothing. Take 2 seconds and create the illusion of connection, what sociologist Sherry Turkle calls the performance of caring without the presence that caring actually requires. A 2024 study published in Computers in Human Behavior found that people who primarily express emotional support through digital platforms, messages, reactions, comments scored measurably lower on empathic accuracy tests than those who engage through face-to-face or voice interaction. We have not become less caring. We have become accustomed to a version of caring that no longer requires us to be fully present. Empathy is not a feeling that arrives automatically in kind people. It is a choice to stay, to enter, to resist the reflex of making someone's pain more comfortable for you to witness. But if this is what empathy really requires, full presence, real entering, what is it that is quietly getting in the way for most of us? And is the digital world we live in making it harder, or is something deeper at work?